The DarkSaber is one of the most interesting and awesome saber blades in the entire Star Wars galaxy. It is also one of the most powerful in all of Star Wars canon. As we all know, whoever lays claim to the DarkSaber also gets to lead the Death Watch in all of Mandalore. The also only way to actually lay claim to the saber is to win it through combat, as it is a Mandalorian tradition. The DarkSaber was constructed by Tar Vizsla. He was the only Mandalorian that was ever inducted into the Jedi Order and was a full-fledged Jedi while also maintaining himself as a Mandalorian. This saber would then later be passed down generation to generation, more seen as a status symbol and as a show of power. As for whichever Mandalorian held this weapon also led the Death Watch in all of Mandalore. Now within the Star Wars community and also in Star Wars lore, it is argued if this saber is actually more powerful than the standard Jedi or Sith saber. But first and foremost, obviously it also is very unique in itself. Not only does it have its own unique color, it also has its own unique shape and its own unique sounds. It sounds completely different from a regular saber. It also does have properties and where it could almost melt Beskar armor. When it makes contact with Beskar armor, it can bring it to a very high melting point. As we all know, Beskar is one of the most powerful metals in all of Star Wars. So in an inherent way, it does technically burn hotter than any other saber out there in the galaxy, any other standard Sith saber or Jedi saber that you'll ever see. As we all know, regular sabers tend to bounce right off Beskar and barely does any kind of damage to it whatsoever, maybe leaves a few scratches here and there. But the DarkSaber itself can bring it to a melting point, can almost destroy it, cut right through it. We also know that the DarkSaber does react off the wielder's emotions, and that's something that we haven't seen from any other lightsaber before. For example, the Mandalorian felt it hard to wield and it became heavier when he tried to use it. And that is because in his current state of mind that he was in after losing Grogu, he could not wield it properly because his mind was only focused on Grogu and not on the blade. We have also seen that the DarkSaber does crackle with lightning around it when it's in the wielder's hands of someone who's in a high emotional state. The saber was feeding off the emotions of the wielder, fueling it and making it a little bit more powerful. But even with all of this, it's also seen that most of the people who are wielding it are not actually Jedi. It is believed that a strong force wielder such as Luke Skywalker can actually hold the power of the DarkSaber easily with no issue. It might actually become in its more powerful state at that point, which is why the saber was probably so powerful in the hands of Tar Vizsla and gave him such a strong reputation. And this is also why a lot of Star Wars fans have came up with theories that Luke Skywalker is actually technically the rightful owner of something like the DarkSaber, or at least should be. I personally think this would be really cool to add to Luke Skywalker's lore, and I think it would be absolutely badass to see him wield something like this. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts about the DarkSaber in the comment section down below. May the Force be with you guys, and as always, have a great rest of your day.